Title 3 Crimes Against Public Order. Chapter 1 Rebellion, Coup d'etat, Sedition, and Disloyalty. Article 134 Rebellion or Insurrection, how committed. The crime of rebellion or insurrection is committed by rising publicly and taking arms against the government for the purpose of removing from the allegiance to said government or its laws the territory of the Philippine Islands or any part thereof, of any body of land, naval, or other armed forces, depriving the chief executive or the legislature, wholly or partially, of any of their powers or prerogatives, as amended by RA 6968, October 24, 1990. Article 134-A, Coup d'etat, how committed. The crime of coup d'etat is a swift attack accompanied by violence, intimidation, threat, strategy, or stealth directed against duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines or any military camp or installation, communications network, public utilities, or other facilities needed for the exercise and continued possession of power, singly or simultaneously carried out anywhere in the Philippines by any person or persons belonging to the military or police, or holding any public office of employment, with or without civilian support or participation for the purpose of seizing or diminishing state power, as amended by RA 6968, October 24, 1990. Article 135, Penalty for rebellion, insurrection, or coup d'etat. Any person who promotes, maintains, or heads rebellion or insurrection shall suffer the penalty of reclusion perpetua. Any person merely participating or executing the commands of others in a rebellion shall suffer the penalty of reclusion temporal. Any person who leads or in any manner directs or commands others to undertake a coup d'etat shall suffer the penalty of reclusion perpetua. Any person in the government service who participates or executes directions or commands of others in undertaking a coup d'etat shall suffer the penalty of prisión mayor in its maximum period. Any person not in the government service who participates or in any manner supports, finances, abets, or aids in undertaking a coup d'etat shall suffer the penalty of reclusion temporal in its maximum period. When the rebellion, insurrection, or coup d'etat shall be under the command of unknown leaders, any person who in fact directed the others, spoke for them, signed receipts and other documents issued in their name, or performed similar acts on behalf of the rebels, shall be deemed a leader of such a rebellion, insurrection, or coup d'etat, as amended by RA 6968, October 24, 1990. Article 136, Conspiracy and Proposal to commit coup d'etat, rebellion, or insurrection. The conspiracy and proposal to commit coup d'etat shall be punished by prisión mayor in its minimum period and a fine which shall not exceed 1 million pesos. The conspiracy and proposal to commit rebellion or insurrection shall be punished respectively by prisión correccional in its maximum period and a fine which shall not exceed 1 million pesos, and by prisión correccional in its medium period and a fine not exceeding 400,000, as amended by RA 10951, August 29, 2017. Article 137, Disloyalty of public officers or employees. The penalty of prisión correccional in its minimum period shall be imposed upon public officers or employees who have failed to resist a rebellion by all the means in their power, or shall continue to discharge the duties of their offices under the control of the rebels, or shall accept appointment to office under them, as reinstated by EO number 187, June 5, 1987. Article 138, Inciting a rebellion or insurrection. The penalty of prisión mayor in its minimum period shall be imposed upon any person who, without taking arms or being in open hostility against the government, shall incite others to the execution of any of the acts specified in Article 134 of this code by means of speeches, proclamations, writings, emblems, banners, or other representations tending to the same end, as reinstated by EO number 187, June 5, 1987. Article 139, Sedition, how committed. The crime of sedition is committed by persons who rise publicly and tumultuously in order to attain by force, intimidation, or by other means outside of legal methods any of the following objects. Number 1, to prevent the promulgation or execution of any law or the holding of any popular election. 2, to prevent the national government or any provincial or municipal government or any public officer thereof from freely exercising its or his functions, or prevent the execution of any administrative order. 3, to inflict any act of hate or revenge upon the person or property of any public officer or employee. 4, to commit for any political or social end any act of hate or revenge against private persons of any social class. And 5, to despoil for any political or social end any person, municipality, or province, or the national government of all its property or any part thereof, as amended by Commonwealth Act 202, November 18, 1936. Article 140, penalty for sedition. The leader of sedition shall suffer the penalty of prison mayor in its minimum period and a fine not exceeding 2 million pesos. Other persons participating therein shall suffer the penalty of prison correctional in its maximum period and a fine not exceeding 1 million pesos. This is amended by 109 RA 10951, August 29, 2017. Article 141, conspiracy to commit sedition. Persons conspiring to commit the crime of sedition shall be punished by prison correctional in its medium period and a fine not exceeding 400,000 pesos. This was likewise amended by RA 10951, August 29, 2017. So, as amended na to. Article 142, inciting to sedition. The penalty of prison correctional in its maximum period and a fine not exceeding 400,000 shall be imposed upon any person who, without taking any direct part in the crime of sedition, should incite others to the accomplishment of any of the acts which constitute sedition by means of speeches, proclamations, writings, emblems, cartoons, banners, or other representations tending to the same end, or upon any person or persons who shall utter seditious words or speeches, write, publish, or circulate scurrilous libels against the government or any of the duly constituted authorities thereof, or which tend to disturb or obstruct any lawful officer in executing the functions of his office, or which tend to instigate others to cabal and meet together for unlawful purposes, or which suggest or incite rebellious conspiracies or riots, or which lead or tend to stir up the people against the lawful authorities, or to disturb the peace of the community, the safety and order of the government, or who shall knowingly conceal such evil practices. As amended by RA 10951, August 29, 2017.